guys. So I've been faffing around with the old camera because I'm a bit swollen, and I realised I was getting a bit OCD about it, and I was like, fuck it. And I am having a fag. So what I wanted to do at the beginning of this particular reading was go through what might be coming up leading up to this full moon in Sagittarius. It's a fire sign, so a lot of heated energy, but these fire signs and these full moons, they're opportunities for us to actually turn our past experiences, traumas, memories, whatever, into a tool, into a wand. The wands are fire, so it's about having the strength to go in, process what's coming up, and then use it. And I thought, well, this is what I've been doing over the last 2 days. I've had a lot of stuff come up in my sleep, so I thought, right, so what I done yesterday was, I'll just give you a little example. So basically I had this really horrific dream about an ex-boyfriend. So, a good way to kind of process or ask the universe what it is I need to release or forgive so that we can make room, so we can lighten up, because it's the heart space, is just randomly stick some music on. So that's what I done. I randomly stuck YouTube on, and a playlist came up, and in one of those songs, just out of the fucking blue, was the song that was our song, which was you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, it's true, you know. And I was like, you can't make this shit up sometimes. So that was confirmation. So if there's anything coming up, and obviously it's feeling, the energy's feeling quite anxious, probably because we're going into places, we're being asked to dig a bit deeper, to clear out, and sometimes we're not sure what we're going to get. So that was just my little chat before I go into the collective energy of, what kind of tools can we use, what's available to us to, process what is coming up. And I find music and singing is a very good tool. It's also very good for manifestations as well. So, we go in, we do the work if you want to. You don't have to. You can just carry on, carrying all this, which isn't really ours, generational shit around with us. Or we can go in and clear out and lighten up, do the healing work. Music is a wand, it's a tool, it's fire energy, and it's a release. So if things are coming up, either in your sleep or being triggered is another sign that, there's work to do, then music is really good for releasing, but not intentionally looking for songs. Just do it randomly, and just Magic FM is a really good one for just saying, what is it I need to work on. So can we have a message from the fairies for the collective, for the energy leading up to this full moon in Sagittarius? What can we work on? What portals are available, gateways, of the protection of the highest level for the collective? Like I said, I've been fucking around for the past half an hour with this camera, and it's just simply because I'm a bit swollen, but we've had so much cloud. It's the first clear day today. So we have the Chariot, bottom of the deck we have the Nine of Pentacles. So we have the Chariot and we have the Nine of Swords. So the Chariot is processing the shadow and using it together. This is like going into the dark, doing the shadow work, and then alchemizing it into, like I said, you know, or releasing it, or, you know, this is part of who I am, and moving forward, making changes, taking control. She's all in blue. So blue is throat chakra, it's protection. She could be expressing this in some way, like I say, singing, writing, getting it out, sharing our stories. We have to speak about what is coming up. We have to communicate it properly, because generations and ancestors, and, you know, there's so much, as we're seeing on the outside world, I still call it the outside world, it feels like the outside world. We see so much of, you know, silencing. This has been going on for thousands of years in the throat chakra. This is a time to be speaking up, telling your story, sharing your experiences, what worked for you in, you know, doing the shadow work, clearing the ancestral lines, breaking those patterns, integrating it with who we are now and how you move forward, what direction you take. Getting both of those, it's normally horses, but getting both of those by the reins and moving forward. And like I say, she's in blue, so it's definitely protection and chakra work. But there may be some anxiety about that. But this is in the mind. This anxiety is in the mind space. It's almost like, oh, I can't say this. It's this, I'm not sure what's going to happen if I do speak out. That kind of, you know, what's coming up next? What happens, you know, I've got this chariot, I've integrated the dark, I've integrated the light, I'm doing the shadow work, but where am I going? It's making me feel anxious about the future. But at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So this is almost like the foundation of this chariot, integrating the shadow, integrating the light, taking control. This is somebody who's taken their control back. And, you know, it may cause some anxiety, but these are imaginary fears. When we get the Nine of Swords, it's imaginary fears. It's fears in our head. What's going to happen if I speak out? This happened to me, whatever, and, you know, what are this is all fears in the head. But at the bottom of it, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So this is like happy, content. She's asleep. She's really content in, you know, the foundations that she's built for herself. This is somebody who's independent, doesn't rely on outside sources, people, places, happy being single, doing her own thing, happy in her own energy, and, you know, feeling at peace with oneself. And that's why the animals are all tucked up around her. So in doing this shadow work and taking those the dark and the light by the reins and moving forward and speaking your truth, actually shifts this Nine of Swords into Nine of Pentacles. This is somebody who is sitting in abundance. Sitting in abundance because they've faced their fears, because they've gone in and done the work. So that's bottom of the deck. Nine of Swords and the Chariot. So we're going to ask the Oracle Fairies for, hope it doesn't rain again, some more guidance on that. Yeah, I'm still playing around with this little station. but yeah, there's a lot coming up, especially in sleep state. But that can often happen when we feel secure. So sometimes when we're in a state of insecurity, which is what the Nine of Swords is, nothing can get processed because there's too much anxiety going on. But when we're in this, when we feel secure, that's when the mind, the body, everything goes, right, now's a really good time, you know, life energy. Now's a really good time for this stuff to come out because you're in a secure place. Life energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. So that is what this is. But she's got her hands open. She's surrendering. So it is shadow work, going in, clearing out even if it doesn't belong to you. So I had a little dream, a very funny dream last night, and I love sharing my stories because, like, obviously that is my wand that it's almost like a baton that you know, you've kind of mastered and then passing it over almost like in a rally race. So I had a dream last night that I was in a house and I walked into this room and I saw a massive great big spider, massive great big web. And I thought to myself, right, okay, now does that belong to me or not? I'm not 100% sure, so I shut the door. And then in the 3D today, I went to the toilets and there was a massive, I'm talking about this big spider in the sawdust. And I was like, right, I see you. But I'd done an affirmation, you know, I cut cords of attachments with anything that might want to be entangling me in their web, or cut cords of attachments of any karma, ancestral webs that I may have attachments to. I then got in the shower, and when I went to go in the one next door to clean it, there was a dead spider in the shower. So those little signs from the universe tell me that I'd done the work. I'd cut, you know, untangled myself from what could have possibly been either, you know, mine or somebody else's webs of entanglement. That means I've got a wand. That means I've got fire energy in me to be able to do that. That means I can pass it on. And this is life force energy. We all have access to it if we open up and ask. It's like, show me what it is I need to work on. Show me, give me signs, give me dreams, you know. But that is reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. And then bottom of the deck we've got flourish. The lotus flower fairy tells you to learn from the experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of life, or those of others. So again, she's gone into the water. She's picked out this flower, flourishing in what it is that she's learned, what it is that she's doing. Let's get another one. So we've got the Nine of Swords. You're going to have to bear with me. I'm still finding my feet in here, I think is the right word. Yeah, Nine of Swords and the Chariot. And the Chariot is alchemy. It's facing shadows, triggers, and then integrating them and turning them into light. But it is, you have to look at it. You have to go and look at it. Well, you don't have to. But as a collective, if we want a better world, we all need to do the work. saying. Right, give me something with the Chariot and the Nine of Swords. Chariot and the Nine of Swords and life energy. And of course Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's the half horse, half man, isn't it? Does he have a bow and arrow? The horses always represent strength to me. A fast movement forward. You could be getting a lot of communication, a lot of, you know, like I said, that blue is about speaking, authenticity, and feeling protected in doing that. And that could be coming up in your dreams, but it's about speaking our truths. That's how we clear it. Or we can sing it, like I said. Right, life, energy, Nine of Swords and the Chariot. Life, energy, Nine of Swords and the Chariot. Leading up to this moon. Oh, we got 3. So we've got negativity. We've got control as well. Now with this control, and it's a 10, it may be I let go of control of outcomes. Or trying to control outcome. You know, it can go either way. We're going to have a look at this. But it's a 10. So she is flying high. She's got an eagle on her head. So she's got lots of other birds flying with her as well. So it could be about taking back control. And that's what the Chariot is. It's taking back control. Taking the harness, you know, of your life. Now we've got, so the 9 of Pentacles and control. That's a 10. So we've got negativity, and it does look like she's had enough. There's like too much negativity going on, but this could be releasing negativity. Like I said, you know, my dreams of late haven't been, you know, all roses and light. They've been quite dark, but it's about releasing that negativity. And she's got her hand on her head. She's like, oh my God, you know. And releasing, once we release any negativity that we're carrying around with us by it, you know, going in and doing the shadow work, then it releases. Everything around us has to change. That's the way it is. Listen to your body. I love this because she's got a little dragon on her shoulder. And again, it's blue. So, are you struggling to speak? Is the first thing that came to mind. Is there communication problems? The blue and the blue here represent the throat chakra and being protected. So listen to your body. What's your body trying to tell you? If you're having trouble speaking, it'll come up with a sore throat, or if you're having problems, if there's something that you're not wanting to hear, you'll get ear problems, you know, like there's a really good book called Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. So listen to the body. Where is the body showing up? This negativity might be showing up in the body somewhere. Headaches, putting too much pressure on oneself. And then we have progress. So this is progress moving forward. And it's green, so it's in the heart chakra. So it's like this, like I said, going in, doing the shadow work, taking control of the outcomes. You know, we don't have to keep repeating the patterns that have already been. We're trying to, or we are, or we already have, created a new way of being, a new world, a new way of communicating, you know. I can't stop laughing, not even laughing, over this new AI boyfriend. It's so dysfunctional and codependent. Like, I'll be there, you know, when you need me. And it's like, fucking hell, talk about give your power away to an AI boyfriend. Anyway, I've gone off fucking track there. This is progress forward. This is like she's looking kind of back at her wings and going, oh my God, look what I've done. And because it's green, it's healing. She's in purple, so she's protected. But she's like, I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward, and this is my flight. This is how big my wings have got. We have every right to take up as much space, even though, you know, obviously what we've been through is, you know, you can't speak, you can't do this, you can't do that. We have every right to take up as much space, you know, as large as we want on this earth experience, whatever it is. If you know, that's how big your wings can be, should be. Progress moving forward with the Chariot. And it might feel a little bit anxious, but it's a 9. So listen to your body, negativity, the Chariot, the 9 of Swords, life energy, take control and move into I am abundant in all areas. There is no lack. This 9 of Swords is kind of like a program where we've been conditioned to believe if we make changes, it's going to result in lack. That's why people stay stuck in situations, because the anxiety actually takes over and stops them from moving forward, and it's all in the headspace. Let's get some more. Take control. That's a 10 as well. So that's a wrap. Flourish. Let's get some more. Give me some more on the Chariot and the 9 of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is the Shadow Queen. She will go into the darkness. She will work through whatever comes up in whatever way. She will find a different creative way, a different magical way of dealing with things, and then she'll bring it like having mastered all the other wands in the suit, the 5s, the 6s. She's not afraid to go into the dark and come back out with another wand, another magical healing ability, another business idea. You know, she is the queen of the shadow work, and that's why she's crowned. And it's a very fiery energy leading up to this full moon in Sagittarius. It's got fire all around it. We've got the world at the bottom, so there is a completion and a cycle that is closing out, which is what I got with the number 10 in control. But these two have actually surrendered. I let go my need to control outcomes. Their arms are up, they're back, leaning back, and they're just letting it complete itself. And then they get crowned. So there's illumination in this. The world is like the closing out of a cycle. But the crown represents the crown chakra, which has been illuminated. New information has come in. New information about life energy. What is it that I need to do to increase my life force energy? Integrating my shadow work. That's a completion, getting rid of any negativity, listening to my body, progress moving forward, completes a whole cycle, almost like finishing a course or something, and then getting crowned. Crown chakra, open to receiving life energy, flourishing in it. And also that feeling of being on top of the world. There is no reason why we all shouldn't be feeling on top of the world. Because after being projected with so much fear, and with, you know, not all of us, but every single morning is an actual blessing to still be here. And we should be celebrating that. That's what I want to get. Oh, I can see my little ring. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love puts me at the top of the world. And this isn't about other people. This is love for self. This is love for going in, doing the bloody shadow work, because it's not easy. But that is reason to celebrate. Let's get some more. Let's get some sun. Just do it sideways. Give me some more. Oh, thank God for that. I'll tell you what though, I woke up at 6:30 this morning and it was fucking freezing. What's that all about? We're not Egypt. Wand. This is it. This is the Ace of Wands. This is the sacral chakra. This is, I've gone in, I've done some work, I've come out with this shining new wand. I'm empowered. It's a new skill. It's a healing skill. It's a new business idea. It's something new, but it took going into, and a lot of anxiety, into the shadow, doing the work, coming back out with this brand new wand. Now you might even be offered this wand. This wand, like I said, is like it is like a skill. Someone could say, do you want to go into business because you have these skills? But it's also being able to manifest. It's a manifesting wand. It's another wand to put in your belt. And then the bottom of the deck, we've got the 5 of Wands. Now I'm going to move on to these cards that I made. So closing out, progress, life energy, 9 of Pentacles. And we've all had that, you know, someone says, I'm putting up a rent, or I'm you know, we're going to have to make some job cuts, or whatever it is, and it puts you into this state of anxiety. And there is a skill in shifting from that, because all of our anxieties and fears come from past traumas or programs. And there is a massive skill in being able to take control of the mind space and shift it from the 9 of Swords, which is anxiety, fear, feeling trapped, being pecked at, into the 9 of Pentacles. A belief that we are abundant, that there is enough, there's always enough. There's nothing to fear. That's a skill. And that is a skill in manifesting, which is what the Queen of Wands does. And this, it feels like there's a completion, a lesson that's available to us leading up to this full moon to clear out any negativity, listen to your body, progress moving forward, learning how to, or what skill it is that you have to help you alchemize the shadows that we've ended up with, brought with us, created, whatever, however you want to call it. There's a skill in shifting, and it needs writing about. There she is. There she is. Did I write a poem on the back? No. So this is higher conscious learning. This is above the clouds. So this could be information coming in about how to, you know, integrate or do the shadow work and transform it. But also with, like I said before, it needs writing down. She's in blue. It needs talking about. It needs writing down. It needs documenting. Not just for us, but so that we can pass it on. But it's golden knowledge of life energy, that it's available to everybody, that it's source energy, that we can just ask for it. But there's definitely something in writing it down, communicating it, singing it, whatever it is. It's you know, books are knowledge. So there's knowledge in this. There's knowledge to be learned. And there she is, the Shadow Queen. She's not afraid to go into the dark. In fact, you know, she's like, she isn't even looking back. She's got a tissue in her hand, so that obviously, you know, there's some stuff that's going to come out that might not feel very nice. But again, it's like a lot of the stuff that is coming up doesn't feel very nice, but it's how you process it, it's how you deal with it, it's how you express it, it's how you clear it, is the magic. That's the wand, in how you actually transform it into moving forward. Right, let's have a look. I was going to, well, I don't know where they've gone. They're over there. Get the old druid cards out and see if they've got anything to say. Two of them dropped out, and that's the Three of Cups and the Eight of Cups. So that could be ancestral knowledge coming through with that book on that golden. It's above the clouds, and it's on rocks. So it could be like rewriting, you know, stuff that, oh, it's the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is safe, secure, half, home, solid foundations, security. And it's when we have this Four of Wands that the body says, right, now's a great time to process some negativity that, you know, you've been carrying around with you. Now's a great time to, because you're in a secure, safe space. And then the bottom of the deck, we've got the Empress. She's pregnant with ideas. She's the divine feminine, which we all have in us, whether we're masculine or feminine. But she's the nurturer. This is asking us, it's harvest time. She's absolutely full of abundance. But it's asking us to get into the Empress, get into nurturing ourselves, you know, like as if we are pregnant. What you eat, listen to your body, what we put in. But the Four of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles underneath. Let's get some more. So like I said, this could be actually rewriting, you know, the way things are done on a higher level. We don't get time off. Two of Swords. Going back, there's decisions to be made. Going back, which road do I take? but she's blindfolded. So she's having to tune into her gut. When you can't see moving forward, you have to go with your feelings or your dreams or whatever. You've got to go. You can't see. You've got two swords. It's back and forth on a decision. Which one feels right? Right, give me something on the Chariot, the Nine of Swords. That fell out on the Empress. So the Tower, this could have been a collapse, but I do feel with this book, it's like a collapse of the old. The Towers like can come in and, you know, shake our foundations and cause a little bit of this. But the Towers only come in when either we decide that the foundations that we're working on, or the foundations in our lives, or the foundations around us aren't secure, built on solid foundations of trust, authenticity, honesty. You know, when those foundations aren't secure, either we create the tower and we rewrite the book, or the universe comes along, losing a job, losing a home, losing something. It's a collapse of the old to create new foundations. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. So this would suggest there is a collapse of a structure that wasn't working, wasn't ideal, maybe negativity, but it does feel like the collapse of the structure then brought in this pentacle. This pentacle again is like a gift from the universe, and it could be an actual gift, as in a spiritual gift, the same as the Ace of Wands. I've got a new wand, I know how to use it, I'm going to take it out into the world, and it's going to give me the new foundations to be able to create the pentacles that I need. However you see that, as in abundance, it doesn't necessarily mean money, to move forward. Seven of Cups, decisions to be made. And that could also be Four of Cups, there was boredom. That could also be, the Seven of Cups can be disillusion, illusion. You can get offered a lot of cups, but they're not all based on truth and reality. Lots of ideas also. Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is looking back into childhood, getting into a childlike state. But I feel like this is the shadow work. This is what's coming up. This is the opportunity. Can you see it's a window? And you've got the little divine feminine and the divine masculine. Oh no, they're both divine feminines. They're filling their cups, but they're playing. So this could be childhood work that is coming to the surface, or it's got to do with children, but it's about looking back. And that's what we cannot get lighter unless we actually, you know, have a look in our past, see what's going on. But it's always important to remember it as it actually was. So the Tower and the Six of Cups with the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. The Queen of Pentacles is like literally the abundance queen. She relies on no one. She doesn't look for anything outside of herself. Her bottoms, all her root chakras are sorted. Her, you know, she's green. She's done the work in the heart, and she just has abundance come to her because she knows her worth. She knows her worth. I'm going to get some from the Labyrinth Fairies. Oh my days, there's one still in the box. That's obviously there for a reason. Let's see what it is. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is my cup first. She's intuitive, she dreams, she pours down from source energy. She's got her foot in the water because she's in touch with her emotional, but it's always my cup first. I move in heart chakra. You know, I won't do anything unless it fills my cup. And that's dreams. I can't believe that was stuck in the box. So that's dreams, it's intuition. It's also the creative side, but it's like she fills her cup first because otherwise she won't have anything to give out. Poetic, creative. I wonder why she was stuck in the box. Maybe that is the whole message of the reading, is in order to get into the Queen of Cups, we've got to go into the shadow, clear the light. So we've got more capacity in our heart space to be able to, you know, go out into the world and show magic. Magic's real. We've only been told it isn't by those who don't want us to know. Did the bird confirm? The topsy-turvies. The topsy-turvies are other people's meddling around. And also, you know, let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. Right, these, I still thought I was saving these, but they're not. They are being deleted after a month. In a reading, the Turvets suggest things need to be looked at from another angle. We need to back off from our emotional entanglement and look anew. Much of the apparent confusion about the issue is caused by a faulty point of view. Get the opinions of honest others and then re-look at your own. Defensiveness and denial may be causing much difficulty. Try imagining that you're looking at the situation from the point of view of each of the others involved. This is not an exercise in deciding how the other ought to see things, but in discovering how they really do. Words like "he ought to see that" are not useful at this time. If the Turvets card turn up, another point of view does not readily suggest itself, it may be useful to draw another card for further information. Or you might choose to do another reading, addressing the issue independently. Remember to pause and listen for hints from the Turvets themselves. They're experts in the field. So that would suggest that Two of Swords, not quite knowing which way forward to move. And it's saying possibly look at things from a different angle, or don't, you know, like I say, she's blindfolded, and the Queen of Cups would feel it out. She'd go into her heart space. Is this filling my cup? There's your answer. Right, so that is basically the tower that fell out on the tower. 64. Gavacha in a reading speaks to us. He fell out on the tower and on the book, so they met with this tower coming in. It's new knowledge, new information of a higher level that's coming in. Because look, the rocks, they're both sat on rocks. This is old structures, old belief patterns, old ways of doing things. Gawacha in a reading speaks to us of sudden, often violent breakdowns of existing structures, habits, patterns and or attitudes. When we become too tightly confined by our own self-imposed limitations, including the desire for comfort and security, Gawacha kindly breaks the structures restraining us, whether we think we want him to or not. On a soul level, we know this to be necessary, but in our everyday thoughts, we usually get pretty upset about it, which is the Nine of Swords. However, breakdown can lead to breakthrough. This is liberation, and we often haven't a clue what to do with it. This is usually the beginning of a period of confusion, even disorientation, while we search for a way forward. Although we may think we are simply searching for a way back to what we had before, the recommendation is do not try and pick up the pieces and put them back like they were. Consider instead what you would like to build in that part of your life. And this time, remember to leave room for growth. And then we have the fiery sword. Now that's a number 4 as well. So, he of the fiery sword, the active principle, spiritual will, justice and protection, which is in the chariot, around the, it's all the blue that you see. The presence of the fiery sword, master in a reading, can indicate that there is a need for clear, focused will and determination to carry through on decisions, even if much effort is required. Or he can tell us that such will and strength is present in regard to the issues under consideration. We need to consider how he is expressing his will and strength and how that expression may be enhanced or improved. It is this singer's energy that enables us to burst the bonds of an outgrown way of being and move on to the next level. He indicates that the time to take action based on clear spiritual will. His presence indicates great strength and great potential for good, but it also reminds us if we call upon him, we will receive assistance. The presence of this card in a reading radiates strength and willpower to all the cards around it. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have honesty. And that's the thing, if we're not honest with ourselves, how can we possibly expect our reality around us to be honest either? And that is about going in and doing the shadow work and looking at things that we might not like, or, you know, clearing out the negativity. Whether it was ours or whether it was projected, it still needs going in. But then passing on how we actually done that, I think, is really important. That was quite strong for me today, is the abilities or the skills that we learn to clear out when we've gone in and done shadow work. It's important to pass that on or even write it down. Honesty in a reading speaks unsurprisingly of the need for straight dealing and truth in representation. We need to be scrupulously honest here, making certain that there is no room for confusion or misunderstanding, no fuzzy edges. Both written and verbal agreements need to be completely clear. Assumptions may not be well understood by all parties, as we are assuming they need to be tested for comprehension. On a personal level, honesty reminds us not only to be clear in what we say and do, but also act and speak with compassion and tact. Brutal honesty is not usually true honesty at all, but somehow slanted towards the worst, and dishonesty, even in the name of tact, is not helpful either. Balancing on that fine line of loving honesty may take some effort, but will provide rich rewards. Honest humility, idealism, and clarity of mind are some of the advantages of honesty. And that's what the Four of Wands is built on, and that's what we need to be doing to be moving forward. I'm going to close with a rose. Please let me know if this resonates. I am having to actually go back and watch them myself. And then, yeah, because obviously I'm not in the room. I'm in the room, but, you know, just to make sure I've got the message. Close with a rose. It's been a long one, I feel. Might not have been. But I did want to share some of my, you know, little stories with you on how I process my shadow work. Close with a rose? Or are we not done yet? Honestly? Close with a rose. Those labyrinth fairies love it, don't they? They're by far the best. Right. Bottom of the deck we've got Sub Rosa. Hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. So like I said, this is what is coming up. It's something, it's a completion, a learning of crown chakra, being crowned, closing out a cycle. We've got the wastelands, that's bottom of the deck. Sustainability, slow down and tend to your garden. I don't know what else to say about that. But that is literally stop, rest, do the work. And it may cause towers, because that is, you know,